All right, Ohio Republican Senator Rob Portman doesn't need any reminding about the severity of things at the border, with or without Title 42 going away. He has had meetings with the Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas. He was kind enough to join us today. Rob Portman, very good to see you, Senator.
Hey, Neil.
This Title 42 issue, I guess, that will be debated at a hearing held until that hearing, till at least May 13th. This takes effect May 23rd if nothing changes, that is removing Title 42. But you're saying this goes way beyond whether that stays or goes, right?
Yes. First, Title 42 is now in court. There's a Louisiana district court that has said the administration cannot end it now, but they haven't given a date as to when it could be ended. The administration said just a couple hours ago that they're going to go along with the court on this, so we don't know what the date is yet. But the bottom line is 42 is a public health order. In other words, it has to do with COVID. At some point, it's going to go away. We hope, COVID goes away. And so we need a solution that's much deeper than that. I mean, the problem is that although about half the people are being sent back under Title 42, the other half are being let into our country. And that's roughly 1 million people last year. It looks like this year we're on track to have about 2 million people who come to the border unlawfully, apply for asylum, are allowed to go in, spend somewhere between 6 and 8 years waiting for their court case, by that time embedded in the community. Very few are ever sent home. In fact, during the first 8 months of the Biden administration, the first 8 months, there were only 26,000 people sent back by expedited removal, and about 800,000 people had come in unlawfully. So that's the problem we've got to solve. We've become a magnet for people from all over the world because they know they can come to our border, claim asylum, and walk in.
Do you get a sense, when you were in on this phone call with Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, of any of his private doubts about where things stand and his concern that were leaked out? Did he relay any of that this is now getting out of control, to your point?
Well, listen, I'm not going to talk about what he said in that call, but I'll talk about what he said publicly, which is consistent with what he said in the call, which is he thinks the system is broken. And it clearly is. Nobody can look at this system and say it's working. My own view, for what it's worth, is we should have legal immigration and even increase that with regard to the skills we need in this country. So open the front door a little more, but let's close the back door. It's not only about illegal immigration, it's about the drug issue, because as you know, the most dangerous of the drugs, particularly the synthetic opioid called fentanyl, is now coming in through our southern border. Dramatic increases in those numbers, along with the dramatic increases in immigration. And that's what's affecting every state, including mine, with record numbers of overdose deaths, and most of them are occurring because of fentanyl. So it's all related, and there's an obvious solution here, which is let's, on a bipartisan basis, fix this problem so our immigration system works the way it was intended.
Senator, while I have you here, and I know you're a senator, but looking at the comments of Kevin McCarthy and that he might have misrepresented himself, or to say he lied about not recommending that Donald Trump should resign in the face of the January 6th attack on the Hill, when in fact an audio tape reveals that that was a concern of his and he was going to present that to the president. Do you think that this is much ado about nothing, that Kevin McCarthy should not be the Republican leader in the House, or if the Republicans take the House, the next speaker?
Well, I think it's much ado about stuff that I have nothing to do with. In other words, the House Republicans are going to make that decision, and they will also, I think, judge Kevin McCarthy on everything he has done to try to achieve the House Republican majority, which I think he's on line to achieve. So I think that will be considered. Also, the emotion of the time. January 6th was a very difficult time for all of us up here. So look, that's a decision the House Republicans are going to make. I do think they're likely to get the majority, and if you look at the numbers today, it's partly because of this border issue, partly because of inflation, but the American people are looking for a change. They're looking for more consistency in terms of how we deal with things like the border, how we deal with things like stimulus spending that got out of control and contributed in a big way to this inflation, and people get that. So I think the House Republicans are likely to get the majority. Here in the Senate, it's a little less certain, but right now it also looks like politically it's going to be a good year for Republicans.
So real quickly, I mean, you mentioned the angst around the reaction that folks like yourself and others had, Mitch McConnell, at the time of the January 6th uprising, but it then dissipated very, very quickly. And it seems like very few were willing to take on Donald Trump or to rehash that. Do you think that's best now, the way things are?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I issued a report along with Senator Blunt from the Rules Committee. I'm ranking on the Homeland Security Committee, the top Republican, and then we had our two chairs, Amy Klobuchar and Gary Peters. And it's a very straightforward report, and it just talks about the lapses here, what happened, how it happened. I think that is good to have those reports out there to be looked at so that we can avoid a future January 6th.
Got it. Senator, thank you very much. Rob Portman of Ohio.
Thanks, Neil.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.